the hell is going on? Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope you're today, hope you're feeling grand, and all's well in your world. The mellow intro jam, I have no idea where that came from. That was, that's where I am today, everybody. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was okay. So, welcome to the Q&A Wednesday. Welcome to the Q&A Wednesday, everybody, or A&Q Wednesday. Because for some reason, if I entitle these videos question and answer, I get copyright flagged and my video gets claimed. Who knew that a question and answer was a copyright thing? Anyway, moving along. Question 1 today, everybody. Let's dive in. Do you have any advice on how to play like Danny Kirwan? Danny is a guitarist who I haven't really looked into a great deal, so my knowledge of his playing is very limited. Excuse me. I love Danny's playing. Danny's vibrato is on par with Paul Kossoff's to me. They both had that really aggressive kind of sound where it was where they did this kind of like vibrato, that kind of thing. You know, really aggressive vibrato, which I can't do. It's really, really difficult to get Danny and Paul Kossoff's vibrato down. Again, I think it's just such a personal thing to them. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to think of anything. I mean, Danny... He was made, you know, like a lot of guitarists back then. They were all pentatonic guys, you know. They're all kind of thing. But Danny had something like his vibrato set him apart from Peter. He had a totally different vibrato. And also, interestingly enough, when Peter would use the neck humbucker, because Peter always used the neck humbucker, you know what I mean? It's very rare. You know, it's not rare, but songs like Oh Well, Green Manalishi, stuff like that Peter would use the bridge humbucker, but mainly Peter was a neck humbucker guy. You know, he mainly kind of like, you know, stayed there or in the middle. He did use the bridge, yes, definitely, but predominantly because of the sound that Peter liked, he used the neck humbucker a lot. So as a result, when Danny was playing, Danny would use the bridge pickup a lot. There isn't much footage, sadly, of that band playing, but there is audio footage, and you can hear when Danny plays, it's that clunky PAF humbucker sound, you know, bridge humbucker sound, you know what I mean? And when Peter plays, it's predominantly neck humbucker, unless it's a bit more of a rock and roll or rock song, like I say, Oh Well, Green Manalishi, stuff like that. But if Peter was playing solos or, you know, bluesy stuff, he predominantly went to the neck humbucker. Not all the time, you know, there is a split there, but Peter would definitely lean more on the neck humbucker, whereas Danny would definitely lean more on the bridge humbucker. And actually, Danny had a P90, a gold top P90 before he had the a burst. I forget. I don't know if anybody knows what year his burst was. If it was a 58, a 59, or a 60. I think it does have flame, so that puts it in the realms of a 59, 60. But I don't think I've ever seen any colour pictures of Danny Kirwan's Les Paul Burst. I've seen plenty of his gold top with the P90s, but I don't think I've ever seen one with his Burst. You know, it's weird. Anyway, advice by Danny Kirwan. Like I say, it's stick to your bridge humbucker more than anything. And pentatonics. You know what I mean? Danny, like Peter, and like a lot of guys back then, you know, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, although Jimmy expanded that, as we all know. But all these guys were pentatonic guys, because the blues guys like B.B. King, Buddy Guy, you know, John Lee Hooker, you know, all these guys were pentatonic users, and you know, and that's what they used. You know, there's footage of Like It This Way. I think it's still on YouTube. I forget, but if you watch Danny play Like It This Way, you can pick up so many kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Traits of his style. You know what I mean? Like, you can really see his style in that song, you know, because he breaks a string as well, which means he's forced to kind of like think on the spot, and it brings out these things. And Danny dug into the guitar like nobody's business. You know what I mean? He really hit that thing. He did not... Peter was definitely a lot lighter with a guitar than Danny. Danny really just lent into the thing. He did not have the lighter, calmer touch that Peter had, although when Peter wanted to go aggressive, he could, but he didn't do it, you know, all the time. Danny was pretty much all the time, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense whatsoever, it's like, come here. You know, really wrestling it and really, really bending the strings and vibrating strings. And I say you can see it on Like It This Way. You can really hear it as well in the sound. And I say it's just got this stingy humbucker tone that he's got. It's amazing. Like I say, and funny enough, that is a classic example of actually of Peter's on the neck and Danny's on the bridge. And you can hear the difference in tone, and they really complement each other. And it's just glorious and gorgeous and heavenly. But in his style, I mean, it's really hard because I haven't really looked into Danny's style a great deal to actually be kind of like, you know, to know as much as I know about Peter or whatever. You know what I mean? It's really difficult. But vibrato is key. And also just bending the hell out of these strings, you know, on the guitar is really important. Because Danny, you know, when he played, he had the guitar, he was small, he was a small guy, he wasn't a big guy. But when Danny played, he had the Les Paul high. And you can really see him, like, you know, he's got the neck up here and he's bending it and you know, he's really going for it. You know, he's got that thing high to, you know, to really dig it. And his face gets really close to the fretboard, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, just bear that in mind. Like, you know, you don't, to get the kind of same kind of attack and sound that Danny had, you really need to dig into that thing. You know, it really needs to, you know, you need that aggression that Danny had. You know, Peter was definitely more. Peter could do the aggression thing as well. You can hear it in, you know, in Green Manalishi, the solo especially, and you can hear it in slow blues every now and again. But Peter had definitely had a kind of a bit of a softer touch, and you can see it in the little footage we have of Peter playing. You know, you can see Peter's right hand is very relaxed. Danny was not tensed up, but he really digs in. You know, he really digs in. I would say he digs in more than Peter, personally. I reckon he hits the guitar harder than Peter does, personally. I believe, anyway, from what I've seen, what I think. Yeah, for what that's worth. But yeah, I mean, vibrato is key, digging in is key, bridge humbucker is key. You can kind of get away with a P90, but you kind of need that sting of a cranked up, dirty, clean Les Paul kind of tone, you know what I mean? And it's bridge humbucker pretty much all the time with Danny. You know, Danny did use the neck humbucker, but it was mainly for songs like Albatross or, you know, jamming around, or if he was doing rhythm to blues. But predominantly, Danny was a bridge humbucker guy, and Peter was a neck humbucker guy. And I think that's why their sounds complement each other so well. Because if you actually listen really closely, for instance, like that Fleetwood Mac's version of Tutti Frutti, at the end of the song where they're just jamming around, you can hear that Danny and Peter almost have identical tone. They almost sound pretty much the same, and I think they realised that early on, that they sounded pretty much identical. You know, with Peter using his Les Paul and Danny using a Les Paul. And both going through the same kind of amps, you know, which at that point was Fender. I think they were dual Showmans at that point. I don't know. But I know that they were dual Showmans in that gig, but it wasn't always... Oh, was it, though? No, it wasn't. It was a Showman, wasn't it? It was just a Showman. But because they sounded so much alike, because he used the same guitars and the same setup, I know Peter added a wah pedal later on. I've never really heard him use it, but I know he had a wah pedal. I've seen it in pictures. I don't think Danny did, but anyway. But you can hear, like, because they sound so different, same, sorry, they had to make a difference. So I think it was kind of like along the lines of like, I'll go neck humbucker, you go bridge, and that's how they kind of got around it. And I say Like It This Way is a classic example of that. Peter doesn't come off the neck, and Danny doesn't come off the bridge. And I say watching Like It This Way, you get a really good shot of Danny's left hand and his right hand and how he digs in, and he really digs in. But other than that, I'm sorry, I'm not really that clued in on Danny. I do keep meaning to kind of like try and get more into his playing style, but it you know, with one thing or another, I haven't had a chance, sadly. But there is always the future. But yeah, so I do apologise. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. I know it's not very good at all, and I know it's not. You know, I'm sorry. All I can do is apologise, really. So I hope there's something in there, though. Like I say, but watching Like It This Way, you get to really see Danny's personality come through the guitar. You know what I mean? More than like, you know, feels like crying footage or oh well, you know, those kind of things. You can obviously Danny has a solo in oh well, but you don't really see it. You get some great close-up shots of Danny during Like It This Way. You can really see and analyse exactly what he's doing and where he's going with it. It's really, really cool. So anyway, I hope that's answered your question as best as I can. So I do apologise, it's not the best answer. But vibrato and aggression and bridge humbucker, they are key. Because if you get the sound, you'll kind of feel it more, if that makes any sense. So I hope that makes sense. So moving on to question 2. Question 2 is, when shredding in the style of John Frusciante, what licks and runs can I use? I know the G and B string lick, the Danny California N solo lick, but what else can I use? Okay, this could go on for hours if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to show one, because I'm pretty sure I've got quite a lot of them in my my John Frusciante series anyway. If I haven't, I should do. I'm pretty sure I've got a video on fast John playing. I'm pretty sure I've got a video on it, but I could be wrong. And if I haven't, I need to get one done. Anyway, oh crikey, come off. There we go. So another lick you can do if you know. I don't have a plectrum. I'll have to use my fingernail. That's what it's there for. Okay, so you know, so you know that one. God, these strings are a bit gummy. I need to clean them. If you know that one, that's cool. You can also do this one, which is the exact same principle as the G and the B string one, where you're bending up the G string 12th fret. We're in the key of D minor, by the way, D minor pentatonic. So you're bending up the G string and doing that thing. You can go down here to the B and the high E string. So you can bend up the B string a tone at the 13th fret, and then you go down to the 10th fret on the high E, and then you go to the 13th fret high E, and then you pull off back to the 10th fret high E. So it's just that. So there's that. There's another one. Another one to do is just this, especially if you've got like a rhythmic wah-wah. If you do this, which is basically around the world, but if you, as you're bending up, if you have the wah pedal back like that in heel down, and as you bend that up, you bring that wah pedal forward, so it goes wow, wow, you know, and do that really fast. It's a John Frusciante thing as well. Yeah, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's another thing. Another one, and I'm going to be, you know, I've got to be careful because I will get carried away with this one. Hang on a minute, let me just figure. Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? So another one is on the D and the G string. So you start off on the G string. Yeah, that's it. So you start off on the G string, and again, these are all with a wah-wah. That's what gives them the intensity. Actually, that one would be better. Actually, that one's more fitting to John. So actually, yeah, we'll go here. So start on the 15th fret on the B, and you bend that up a tone. And then you release it. As you're coming down off that bend, you pull off to the 13th fret on the B. Again, we're still in D minor. And then you go to the 14th fret on G. And then you go back to to finish the lick off, you go back to the 13th fret on the B. So bending up 15th fret, and release, and then pull off to the 13th fret B. Go to the 14th fret G, and then you go back down to the 13th fret on the B. There's that one. And another little lick, just for fun, is this one, which is just John Frusciante. Which is basically you just 15th fret on the B, 13th fret B, and then you go to the 14th fret on the G. And that's it. So yeah, so if you know that one, God, it's really horrible to play guitar like that. Yeah, if you know that one, you've got that one. Oh, I can't do it, you can't see. You got that one, so yeah, you know that one. And then you got this one. Yeah, and then you got those kind of things. Another one as well, sorry. Last one is this one, where you can go 15th fret on the high E, 13th fret high E, and 10th fret high E, and you do this. It's basically just really fast tremolo picking with your right hand. And you can vary the speed of your pull-offs. So you can slow down and you can speed up. So there you go. There's a few. And again, they're all kind of used apart from the. They're all to be used with a wah-wah pedal, and I really need to clean the strings on that because I was playing it yesterday and I haven't done it yet. Okay, so I need to clean the strings up on Mr. Tokai after this because they feel gross. Okay, so yeah, there's a few little kind of other licks, but I swear I've got a video on that. I don't know. I think I have, but I don't know. I'm unsure because I don't remember. Anyway, you also asked what pickups do you recommend for a good John Frusciante tone. I always go with the same things. Tex-Mex. I always recommend Tex-Mex pickups. So really, they're not ridiculously expensive, and they have a really vintage Strat quality about them. They're not dark and woolly. They've got, you know, they have that Strat thing. I really feel that Tex-Mex are just, I love them. I absolutely love them. And they're not, like I say, they're not expensive, and they're just wicked. I love Tex-Mex pickups. I say they're my favourite guitar, my white Strat, and that's the sound that like I just adore. That's that sound to me. You know, it really just sounds right, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So yeah, so that'd be the pickups I'd recommend. But there are other ones, you know, Nick's pickups, Nick Oswald's pickups. I don't have a Oswald Danny, but Nick's pickups, his pickups sound great. There's Evil Sheep. Tone Rider do really good pickups. Who else? Failing to find anybody else in my brain at this point in time. But yeah, I would go Tex-Mex personally. I mean, I love Tex-Mex pickups. I think they're amazing. But say you got Evil Sheep as well, and Nick's Oswald's pickups, and you got Tone Rider, which are really good. Is there any others? I can't think of any others off the top of my head. They're Tokai ones. I've got to say, the pickups in the Chapman guitar here, the ML1, isn't it? I forget. I'm terrible with these things. These pickups are ridiculously like. These are some of the like most awesome Strat sounding pickups. They're just wicked. They're just wicked. They are absolutely wicked. I love these pickups. They're not far off Tex-Mex. But I would say these pickups are probably the closest I've heard to Tex-Mex pickups. They're really cool. I really want to hear them in the guitar that doesn't have a brass trem block or brass saddles, because the brass saddles and the brass trem block add zing, which I love. But I would love to hear these with just a normal tremolo, you know, just to hear, you know, what's the difference, you know. But maybe one day. But these pickups are amazing. The pickups in the Chapman guitar are amazing. I absolutely love these. They're so cool. They just really have that Strat thing. They really have that Strat thing, and they sound so good. I love them to bits. So yeah, I don't know if Chapman do individual pickups. Either way, but my first and foremost has got to be recommended is Tex-Mex. I love them. Absolutely love those pickups to bits. So yeah. I hope that's the question. Move on to question 3 now, everybody. Question 3 is, if you had to choose between the Zoom G5n, which is just here, and the Line 6 HX, which is just over there, which one would you choose, and do you think which one do you think sounds better? So the choice between the G5n and the HX would be a difficult one, because I love the Zoom. I love the Zoom. I love it to bits. But the HX wins on functionality, user friendliness, because the G5n does that overload thing, which is fair enough. There is about 200 quid between the two, because I think the HX is about 400 quid and the G5n is about 220. I think it was when I bought mine. I don't know if that changes, but they're about, there's a good 150, 200 quid difference, which does make a difference when you kind of like doing that thing. But as much as I like the G5n, I am constantly frustrated with its functionality. If that makes any sense. Like for instance, like the ability to only have 4 effects on here at one time, and the way you set them up in a line is the way they are on here. So for instance, if you've got 4 effects here that you can have in line, but you need to access this effect, you have to scroll over to it and then engage it. And then if you want to turn an effect off that you've scrolled past, you have to scroll back and turn it off. That's a nightmare. That rules that out from being really useful live in a way, because I don't like the idea of that. Whereas the Line 6, the HX, you have 6 buttons which you can turn on whenever you feel like it. And also, the effects in the HX, like the reverbs and the delays, in the HX, they respond nicer than they do in the Zoom. In the Zoom G5, the reverbs and the delays are finicky of how they respond, especially when using distortion. They'll distort, and they get a bit picky about what's there. Whereas in the HX, you don't have that issue. I've never had an issue with like a delay distorting and going horrifically and sounding just massively horrible and distorted, or just getting lost completely, or reverb like making the guitar distorted and crackling the speakers in your amp. I've never had that with the HX. I have it all the time with the G5n, and as much as I love the G5n and it's going nowhere, I absolutely love it. I had an idea the other day that one day, if I ever reach a certain amount of subscribers or whatever, what I would do is I would give the G5n away with all my presets in it. I would just kind of give it away. But I don't know, because as I say, we've got 100,000 subscribers, guitar set upstairs. So I don't know about that. But anyway, we'll the future will tell me what to do with that one, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, between the G5n and the HX, I would go to HX. It's a bit more money, definitely. But when it comes down to it, when a push comes to shove, it just, functionality-wise and versatility-wise, is better. The Zoom is a little bit more of a nightmare. Its user interface is a pig. The HX is not. Dialing in sounds on the HX and the G5n is easy. It's so easy to dial in sounds on both. It really is easy. So they kind of are on par there. But the G5n, like I say, it's the scrolling thing. It's so stupid. And also, I don't like the idea of setting up different banks. Like, you obviously set up different banks for different sounds. I don't like the idea of setting up like one for clean, one for distortion, one for boost or whatever, because there is a millisecond delay between switching patches. So if you go from a clean to a dirty patch, so like, say for instance, I forget how they're labeled. Give me 1 second, I'm just loading it up. So for instance, like if you go from patch 200 to patch 199, there is a split second delay, like a millisecond delay, which I don't like. I want that to be immediately, like a pedal, like click it over, because you're gonna miss your cues. You know what I mean? If you're doing a song like, that requires you to go from really clean to mass distortion in a split second, because that's when the drums smash in, or what, that's when the whole band comes in. You can't have that millisecond delay. It's not going to be helpful. And it's really annoying, because the way I like to run the effects on the G5n, with the wah pedal on, as you're looking at the screen, on the right side of the distortion, and then the tape echoes and the reverbs and the choruses on the right side of the amp model and stuff like this, it's an absolute logistical nightmare to traverse it, to get it to to get to any effect quick. You can't get to any effect quick, whereas with the HX, it's right there. So you want reverb, you just click it. If you want distortion, you just click it. If you want, whatever, you just click it, and it's just there for you no matter what. And that is the major flaw on the G5n. I still recommend the G5n, definitely, because it sounds and is just wicked. It just is wicked. But it's flawed in so many ways. The HX is not flawed. Well, it is in one place, the tuner. The tuner in the HX is crap. It's as simple as that. The tuner in the Zoom is amazing. The zoomer in the HX I never use because I think it's rubbish. I used to use a clip-on. I used to use a snark tuner. All the gigs I did with the HX, I never used a tuner. I used a snark because it's just ridiculous. It doesn't work in my opinion. Anyway, but that's its fundamental flaw, and that's not a big flaw because you can just get a pedal tuner or a clip-on tuner and away you go. It's not a big issue. Whereas the scroll function on the Zoom, as much as I love the Zoom, drives me insane. And then they haven't upgraded that. There's the new G11 coming out, and it's still there. The scroll function's still there. What are you doing, Zoom? Come on! Pull it together. It's really ridiculous. I really don't understand why they did that. Instead of having, the scroll bank functions, why didn't you add another 2 buttons? You could have 6 effects. Then you'd be on par with the Line 6 HX. You know what I mean? Because you got 4. And then also having the ability on the HX to, you can have pedals hidden. So for instance, on my HX, I have an overdrive pedal, a reverb, and a 10-band graphic EQ that are they work behind the scenes. Because I never turn them off, I don't need to see them. On the G5n, you can't do that. It'd be nice to be able to one sec. It'd be nice to assign, so for instance, if you've got an amp model, you can have it working behind the scenes. So you could assign that's distortion, that's overdrive, that's chorus, and that's delay. And have those effects not in the way, but instead, no, you have to do that stupid scroll function thing. It's just, as much as I love that function, I despise it with everything I love about this pedal. The scroll function, the nightmare of trying to get the effects in the right order, and then finding when the effects are in the order you like, you have to use the scroll function, no ifs, no buts. Really gets on my nerves. It really grinds my gears, in the words of Peter Griffin. And that is really silly. I don't really know what Zoom were thinking, because this unit could have been spectacular, but as a result of these flaws that I've experienced with this thing, it's really good. That it's not spectacular. I wouldn't say the HX is. I can't say it's spectacular because of the tuner function. It's stupid, but it is incredible. You know what I mean? So for me, if I had to choose between the G5n and the HX, it would be the HX. You do have the problem with the HX is you can have option paralysis, definitely, because it's got so many effects. But at the end of the day, it's proven itself. The HX has proven itself time and time again to me to be so versatile live and so easy to use. And its consistency and its sound is amazing. I love the sound of it so much. And I just love how easy it is to dial things in and the fact you can assign things to kind of where you want them and, things are clearly written and everything's, it's just so easy. It's so easy to work the HX. The G5n is easy to work, but it's flawed. It's absolutely flawed with that stupid scroll function. Like I say, if Zoom got rid of this scroll function, if they got rid of these 2 paddles and just had another 2 of these and the ability to assign distortion, delay, reverb, chorus, and then have one of the amp models, and if you didn't want it on one of these buttons, you could just disassign it, if that's even a word. So it's not interfering with any of these. If they did that, this thing would beat the HX. I would pick this. If Zoom did that, if this had the same kind of operating thing as the HX, like I say, where you could have pedals working in the background, that you don't need to turn off and on, they're just there, you know what I mean, adding to the thing. And you can then just assign these buttons to do whatever you want them to do. This pedal would beat the HX hands down. No ifs, no buts. Easy peasy. But it doesn't. and they haven't learned. I mean, I don't know why they did it on there's one more button on the G11, and it's about 500 or 600 odd quid, I think, or something like that. It's going to be like that. So it's more expensive than the HX with the same issues that this has got. Stupid! Zoom, you are stupid. That is very silly. Because it's all about, it wants to function like a, I want a multi-effects unit like this to function like a pedalboard, and the HX does that. The Helix does that. I used to have a Boss multi-effects unit, guitar thing, and that did the same thing. You could have things arranged in a certain way, and if you didn't want them there, you could get rid of them, but they were still there, if you know what I mean. The Zoom just throws all that out the window. It just says, we've got scroll. And it's like, you idiots. That is so stupid. That scroll function has ruined this incredibly beastly pedal. Like I said, and it's made it go, yeah, it's really good, and I recommend it, but be aware of the stupid scroll function. And I love Zoom so much. I've used Zoom pedals forever, and which is why I knew I would love this pedal. I just love it. I love it, but I hate its functionality, which again, love, hate, love. It really is love, hate, love with this thing. Where I plug into it and I'm like, oh, that sounds so good. But now I need to press the scroll function 3 times to get to a pedal that I want to turn on. And I've got to scroll back 3 to get to this pedal I've got to turn off. And it's like, that is useless live. And like I say, the idea of switching from bank to bank is useless live as well, because there's like a millisecond delay. And that's not good enough. Not even my Zoom 606 had that much latency when switching banks. So I don't understand. So I'm a bit angry about that. Because I really wanted to literally go, right, yeah, the Zoom G5n is my multi-effects unit of choice forever, and that's it. And I can't, and that really annoys me. And I really wish it was, because I love the sound of it, the distortions, everything about this pedal I adore, apart from its flaws, and there are too many. So, anyway, be that for what it may. But yeah, like I say, between the two, easy peasy, HX. It really, unfortunately, it's that easy. I wish it wasn't, but unfortunately it is. Anyway, in all fairness, I'm thinking of swapping this out. My HX at this point in time I'm using for reverb and certain things for my acoustic. I've been using the HX for kind of like acoustic, but in all fairness, I think I'm going to switch them out, because I've been using this for guitar over here with the MG. I think I'm going to switch them out. I'm going to put the HX over here and put the Line 6, the Zoom over there, and use this for an acoustic, because you can use this for an acoustic. And I think as an acoustic thing, this would work out better, because you've got limited options. So you could have I would have particle verb, chorus, tremolo, and reverb, and that'd be it. You know what I mean? So this would probably work out nicer for an acoustic pedal board than the HX. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I bet you can't tell I'm a little bit annoyed at Zoom for what they did with the G5n. Because you spend all that time getting these amazing sounds, these amazing simulations that sound just like, you get it so it tweaks right, you get it so it reacts right, and then you do something stupid like paddle. Then, no, don't do that, because you might get copyright claimed. Then you go and put the scroll function in. Why? Cost cutting measure. Well, really, was it? No. I'm angry. I'm angry at it, because I love it so much, but I hate it so much as well. Yeah. Anyway, HX. Bit more money, but worth it. Okay, so anyway, I hope that's answered your question. Moving on to file question 8. Question 4, be aware of, I'm about to go into complete ramble tangent mode, so just be aware, people. So, question 4's got a few bits, and I really want to get to the last part. The last part of this question is really, really important, so I'll get to it quick as I can. Somebody said, question 4 is, have you tried the Mooer GE100, and if so, how does it compare to the Zoom G2.1U? I haven't tried the Mooer yet, no, but I really want to get one and see what it's like. So, watch this space, the GE100. I am hoping to get one soon. It won't be this month, sadly. It probably won't be next month, but I will hopefully get my disgusting little hands on one at some point. So yeah, so I can't really say how it compares at this point in time, but I will at some point, I promise. So There's another couple of parts to question 4, and they're all kind of intertwined. So I'm going to do my best to kind of answer the rest of these parts of question 4 in one answer. So I'll just read through what I've got, and then I'll just do what I can. So you also asked, what's your advice on letting go and getting into the zone when you're playing? Okay, so bear that in mind. The other part of this question is, I'm getting bullied at school, which makes me angry. Beyond the Zoom. I get more angry at that than I get angry at the Zoom. I'm getting bullied at school for listening to guitar music, and it separates me from everyone. That is so horrific. That is so horrific that you're getting bullied just because you like music with guitars in it. Shh, people, sometimes. Come on. And it separates me from everyone. That breaks my heart. And also you said, the music industry is increasingly difficult to make a living out of. Some, including me, would say it's impossible. And due to the music I like, I see it impossible to make a career out of music. I would set up a YouTube channel, but I feel it would go nowhere. So should I quit music if all it has done has brought me misery from other people? This is literally one of the most upsetting questions I think I've ever had to answer. Not in the fact of kind of like I can't think of words I'm looking for there, but like it upsets me because you like a certain kind of music, you feel that you should just give up on it because other people are belittling you for liking it, and that's a big no-no. Don't give up on music. It's not music that's brought you misery. It's people that belittle you for liking a certain kind of music and being you. If you like that kind of music, sod them. If they don't like it and they want to belittle you for it, they're the ones with the problem. You are not the one with the problem. At least you know what you like. They probably don't know what they even want to eat in the morning. You know what I mean? It's should I jump off a cliff or shouldn't I jump off a cliff? It's like, make your mind up. Weird analogy. I don't know where that one came from. I just get angry. Concept of bullying drives me insane because it happened to me and it ruined me. So I get angry at this. Where's your school? I want to come out of a word with them. So yeah, I can't deal with bullying. I can't. Breathe. Hang on a minute. Okay. Don't quit music. Just because people don't like your guitar, you like the fact that you listen to guitar music, doesn't mean you need to quit it. And it doesn't mean, and just because the music industry is like impossible, doesn't mean you should give up on music. Don't give up on music. And I say, music hasn't brought you misery. People have brought you misery because they belittle you for liking a certain... They belittling you because you like something they don't like. And that to me is pathetic on their part. It's not your fault. It's their fault. If they don't like the fact you like guitar music, that's their problem. You're not the one with the issue here. They are. They've got a problem with you. You don't have a problem with them. Be true to yourself. Like what you like. Anybody says otherwise, damn them. They're not you. We're all individual human beings at the end of the day. We all like individual things. We all like what we like. And if somebody comes on and says, I hate you because you like this, are you insane? I've had it so much. I have people come up to me. I've had people come up to me before, and I've been thrown out of bands for liking solid state amps and single core pickups, and not valve amplifiers and humbuckers. People have a go at me all the time for using cheap guitars. It's pathetic. Oh, why would you relate your guitar? Because it's mine. I bought it, and I want to do that because I like it. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's important, especially not to anybody else. This is the problem with bullies, is they think their opinion is the be all and end all. In fact, it's got no bearing on anything, and they know that deep down, which is why they do it. I'm convinced they do it because it shows their failings as a human. For all we know, the people who bully you at school for liking guitar music might secretly love guitar music, but they're afraid to say it because it will distance them. So you sticking by your guns and saying, no, I like this kind of music, sod you. damn you, I don't care. I like this kind of music. It makes me happy, brings me comfort and solace. Then you are being more true than them. And it's all about being true. Kurt Cobain said that, a wicked line of like, trying to be someone else is a waste of who you are. Or something along those lines. I'm kind of paraphrasing that in a way. But it's so true. You've got to be yourself. You've got to be true to yourself. You've got to be honest. You've got to be you. Don't let anybody else sway you. I tried this. I tried to change myself a million different directions when I was at school to fit in. And it never worked because I could only ever be me. I can't be anybody but me. And I had to learn it the hard way. So don't let people dictate what you do or what you listen to or what you want to do. Music business, be damned. People, bullies, be damned. Sod them. You want to listen to guitar music? Listen to guitar music. If you want to start up a YouTube channel, do it. You don't know where it'll lead. You don't. I never, ever, ever, ever believed this channel would get to where it is. And that is insane to me. It blows my mind every day, and I'm so humbled and grateful every day because no one's ever going to sign me to a major label. No one's going to sign me to an independent label because I look like a tramp who's been dragged through the forest backwards. You know what I mean? I'm not commercially viable. My music isn't commercially viable because it's all guitar focused, and that just isn't the thing right now. And for the guitar music it is about right now, I don't have the right look. Even if I shave my head, I still won't have the right look. And the thing is, if I shave my head and, do start wearing these other clothes, that's not me. I'm being untrue and false to myself. This is me. Like it or lump it. And I have to like it or lump it as well, which sometimes, I don't like myself. Well, most of the time I don't like myself. But the fact of the matter is, you don't get to be anybody else in this life. You have to be you. So you might as well be true to yourself, and you might as well be honest with yourself. If you like something, you like it. You know what I mean? Bullies, critics, people be damned. If you have to be yourself. And it is so important to be yourself because, you just need to be. And people who belittle you for trying to be what you are is just so pathetic to me. It's just like, it's just rubbish. I am so sorry that you're getting bullied for this because you shouldn't be. It's totally unnecessary. And just bear this in mind. You are not the one with the problem. They are. They're the ones with the problem. You are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're okay. You are being true to yourself. You like guitar music. Wicked. They don't. So what? If they don't like it, that's their problem. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Don't start labeling music as bringing you misery. Don't label such a positive thing with negativity of other people. Don't let other people drag something down that you love just because they don't. You're letting them in to a place they should never be allowed into. Just forget them. If you like guitar music, you like guitar music. If they don't, them. Sometimes I wish I could swear, but I don't want to. But yeah, seriously, don't give up on music. Don't quit music. Music hasn't brought you misery. It's people's responses to the music you love and like that have brought you misery. And the whole thing of letting go when you play comes from being yourself. You've got to be yourself in music when you play for yourself to switch off and become unconscious, because you've got to be comfortable knowing that you are playing what you want to play. You know what I mean? And being confident and comfy to play what you want to play, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, to switch off when you play, to just close your eyes, you can't be thinking about, oh, but people don't like this, or I might not make a living out of this. Most musicians can't make a living out of this in this day and age. It's almost, it's almost impossible. Well, it is almost impossible to make a living out of music these days because there's no money in music anymore. Big labels seen to that. There's only 3 major labels in the world. They've seen to how to ruin the chances that we used to have, but it doesn't mean you should just give up. You know what I mean? Ever. Doesn't just because there's no chance of making a living out of it doesn't mean you should ever give up on music. I will never give up on music. I'll never not play guitar. You know what I mean? The guitar will be part of my life forever until I'm just dust in the air. You know what I mean? That is literally, that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? When I was 15 years old, near my dad and my sister played that song, and then the experiences I've had through the years have just reaffirmed the fact that this is all I want out of life, is to be able to play music, and play music well, and play music that is honest and true, and get my emotions out to other people, and in so doing help them feel either less alone or less scared, or feel happy when they feel sad, or help them with a loss or whatever, through my music. That's all I want. I don't care about being a millionaire or super famous and everyone in the street recognizing me and this, that, and the other. I don't care about that. I just want to connect music with people. I just want it to help people. I want my music to help people. That's why that's why I will never be famous or a millionaire. Because I like to help. I don't want, I can't do that thing that YouTubers do where some YouTubers do where it's like, if you subscribe to this, you'll get this and you'll get that, but you have to pay extra. I can't do it. It feels totally wrong. Which is why I'll never be rich. But that's fine by me. Because if I can write one song and that one song go on to help two people, one person, with an issue they're having in their lives and make them feel comfy or comfortable or comforted or less alone or give them light when there is no light. You know what I mean? If I can do that, then that's successful to me. You know what I mean? I never, for a long time, I was like, look at me, I'm a technical whiz kid on the guitar. That didn't last very long because I was like, this isn't connecting. I'm not connecting with humans. And it's so important for me now to do that. I can't... One sec, I think that was the door. No, sorry about that. I was just next door doing DIY. I need to connect. My music needs to connect. I need to connect with people. And that is so important to me. That's more important to me than being technically whizzy on the guitar. I'm not interested in that. I want to write music that helps people and connects with people. I'm not interested in kind of, hey, look at me, look what I can do with a piece of wood wires. I want people to feel what I can do with a piece of wood wires, and in so doing, make them feel better when they don't. Give them light when there's only darkness. Give them the ability to grieve a loss or this, that, and the other. I just want to be there to help people through music, and that's all I want. Unfortunately, it's not very lucrative as a business plan, especially not in this day and age, but that's me being honest to myself. And some people say, whatever. I remember being at college, and our tutor was going around the class, asking people why they started playing their instrument, whether it be guitar, drums, bass, sing, piano, whatever, hurdy-gurdy, whatever. And people were saying, "Oh, well, I just wanted to, there was the generic responses of I wanted to pick up girls, like give over, how ridiculous." And then there was cooler ones like, I wanted to be in a band. There was no ones that I just felt like I wanted to create music and this, that, and the other. And he came to me and I said, I want to connect my music with people and help people. And this was 2000 and, when would it have been? 8. This would have been 2008. And I said, I want my music, I want to write music that helps people and connects with people. And I just want to be as open and expressive as I can on my guitar and just connect with human beings, and do what I can. And my tutor shot me down, clever, great tutor, shot me down and said, no, you got into it like I got into it, to pick up girls. And I was like, oh, you shallow human being. I'm not in it to do that. I'm in it to connect with people. I'm in it because I want to help people through music, because I believe deeply and wholeheartedly that music is the biggest healing thing in the world. For on an emotional level, I feel it's the most powerful art form we have, music, because it can just draw people together, no matter what. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, yes, it can polarize people as well. Like, for instance, in this question, you say guitar music alienates you from other people who don't like guitar music. But again, it comes down to, you got to be true to yourself. You've got to be honest with who you are. If you like guitar music, and they don't, that's their problem. It's not your problem. Don't worry about that. You've got to be honest. You've got to be true. If there is no point being like false, and then to kind of like, say, should I quit music because it just brought me nothing but misery? It's like, it hasn't brought you misery. People have done that to you. They've done that through bullying and belittling you because you like something they don't like. And it's not about that. It's like, if somebody doesn't like something you don't like, that's fine. But when they go out their way to try and prove to you how wrong you are for liking or doing what you do, and that's just wrong. So I would say to you, yeah, music industry is near impossible. But we all have to accept that, unfortunately. In this day and age, we all have to accept that I still have dreams of going on tour with a band that I'm in and playing, not big places, but playing to people, in venues, on a stage. That's what I dream about doing with music. You know what I mean? Being in a really good band that I love the music of, and just going around different countries, experiencing different things through music, and connecting with people on that level that only music can do. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. But I can dream. You know what I mean? And who's to say that it won't? Because there's always an underlying doubt in my mind. There's that thing of like, it's not going to happen. But it might. I don't know. I don't know what's around the corner. Unfortunately, at this point in time, absolutely nothing. Because of where we are. Which is horrifically depressing, and it's absolutely destroying me, because I'm struggling to kind of level. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, honestly, be who you are. And if you are getting bored and you feel dead-ended, just email me again. Just message me. I will eventually reply. You know what I mean? It might take me a bit of time because I get so many, and I get so many, messages here and there, and I've got so much to do. But I will reply to you. You know what I mean? So if things get hard again, just message me, and I'll try and help as much as I can. Again, which is why I'm here in the first place. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm here to help. You know what I mean? It's why I don't really like kind of. But yeah, don't give up on music. Keep going with it. Set up a YouTube. Seriously. You don't know where it'll lead. You don't. Don't live in the future. It hasn't been written. And don't live in the past because it's already gone. You can't do anything about it. You really do have to just kind of live for what this moment is. Because it's gone. That's never going to... that will never happen again. And the problem we have as humans is we think our time is limitless. We think, and the thing with this virus has brought into sharp focus for me, and how unlimited our time is. How limited, our time is. Nothing's limitless. Everything has you have a certain amount of times you can do something. You have a certain amount of times in your life you'll see a full moon. You have a certain amount of times you'll tell somebody you love them before they're gone. You'll have a certain amount of times you'll be able to do this, that, and the other. So every moment counts. Not one moment is wasted. It's why I say in this day and age, it's so important. Like, if somebody says, if you want to tell somebody how much they mean to you, you have to tell them, especially in this day and age, because everything's so limited. It's so it's all about, you just got to be who you want to be. You've got to say what you want to say, and you've got to do what you want to do within reason, obviously. You can't just I like punching people in the face. You can't go around doing that because that's just disgusting. But you know what I mean? Silliness aside, you've got to be honest. You've got to be true. You've got to be who you are. And in so doing, you find your way. And this whole thing of switching off and going into the zone when you play guitar comes from being yourself and playing music that means something to you. The intro jam this morning, for this video that I did, I don't know where that came from. Because what I do, and this is another thing, you need to submit yourself to music, totally. Music will guide you. You are just a marionette. We are just marionettes when it comes down to music. Things get beamed to us, we are just a puppet. And that's fine. You want to be that. Because music is such a higher power that it knows better than you do. It will tell you what it wants from you, and it will manipulate you in the way it wants to get what it wants out of you. So you just have to be open to it and just go unconscious to it and just let it take control. The intro jam today, I don't know where it came from. I never think about intro jams because I don't want to think about them, because once you start thinking about them, you overanalyze. And once you start overanalyzing, you might as well not bother, because you just like, that could be better, this could be better, that could be better. It's why when I record songs, I will start recording a song in the morning, and by 6, 7, 8 o'clock that night, it's released, because I don't have chance to overanalyze it and go, oh, it's not in the right key for my voice. Oh, it's not this anyway. I could have done a better guitar solo. I don't like that. I've got enough time to do that down the line. You know what I mean? Maybe I haven't, but who knows? You know what I mean? I can always come back to it. But the point is, it's capturing lightning in a bottle. At that point in time, whatever it was that wanted me to write this song, wants me to write this song, and it wants it out as soon as possible, and it wants it to say something. Monsters, the song I wrote the other day called Monsters, that got beamed to me. I've had the guitar riff for ages, well, about a month, and it was initially written on this guitar actually, but I didn't record it on that guitar. I recorded it on the ST. But anyway, that song, I wrote the music for it, and there was certain parts I wanted to put in, and I was like, the music was like, no, don't want that. I don't want that. No, I don't want that. So I was trying all these things, and the song was like, no. And music was like, no, we're not doing that. We're doing this. So eventually, I finally got it to where they wanted it to be. I say they because, music, the higher power of music. It finally got to where it wanted to be, and it came to writing the lyrics. So I always do music first, and then come up with a melody, and then come up with lyrics. I just find it easier that way. And the lyrics just flew out. And literally within 10, 15 minutes, I had all the lyrics, and then another 20 minutes, half an hour, I had it sung, and it was done. And it was just a case of mixing it, and then it was out the door. And that's important to me, to be able to do that, because it captures lightning in a bottle. That's a point in time. You know what I mean? That song was that day. I feel that when I spend like couple of days on a song, sometimes you can lose the initial focus of that song. Not all the time at all. I'm working on a song at this point in time with a friend of mine, and it's taking its time because I'm busy and she's busy doing things. So it's just taking its time, but it's worth it. This song is worth taking its time on, because there is a lot to think about. And there was this, that, and the other. But I can't wait for you to hear it, people of YouTube. I hope you're going to love it, because it's really, really cool. It's and I'll talk about what it's about when it comes out. I'll do a little kind of like pre-video to it, and before it goes up, and let you know what it's all about, because I want people to kind of, the idea of it is, well, I'll talk about that later date. But anyway, coming back to this end of this question 4, because I'm going to have to finish in a minute. Seriously, don't give up on music. If people don't like you liking guitar music, that's their problem, it's not yours. People of the tube, help me out here. Leave supportive comments for this person, because they need it right now. Tell them not to give up. Tell them that they should keep going. They should set up a YouTube. They're okay. It's not them with a problem. Everyone. When somebody like this comes along, everyone needs to help. Everyone needs to band together and help this person. You know what I mean? So, people of the tube, comment section below. Please leave really positive, nice things to this person to bring them back up to a point where they're not going to feel like I'm going to quit music, because that'd be a tragedy, absolute loss to the music world. Don't do it. Seriously, don't do it. Keep going. It is worth it. And what you put in, you will get out. The whole switching off thing takes time, but it will happen. But you've got to be honest. You've got to be true. And that's the point. And you've got to listen to music. You've got to listen to what you're doing, what your music is, what you want to do. And that is key for anybody. It's what I say this to everybody all the time. It's so important for people to do what they want within reason, obviously. But what do you want out of music? What do you want to play? What style do you want to play? If you want to do that, do that. If people don't like it, that's them. If you like it and it inspires you and you get it, that's it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I hope I'm gonna have to stop because I'm running out of time. But I hope this has made sense. I really hope this has made sense. This is a really, really important question. I really wanted to answer and kind of go into detail. So I hope it made sense. And like I said, don't give up music. I'm sure lots of people will say the same thing in the comment section below. The community on this channel, you are the most awesome people I have ever met in my life. And I haven't unfortunately met any of you, but hopefully that'll change one day. But you are literally the most awesome human beings I have ever met in my life. You are all awesome. I love every single one of you. You're amazing. Seriously. You make this channel what it is. You really do. And I say it every time, and I know people say, no, it isn't. It's because of what you do. Yeah, but if you weren't there to watch it and support it and help, then it wouldn't mean anything. You know what I mean? You are the heart and soul of this channel. And I mean that. I really do mean that. And I'm so grateful every day. I'm humbled by you every day for your awesome comments and your supportiveness. And it just is wicked. So, back to this person, don't give up. Because you don't know. I never thought in a million years I would have this much support from all these awesome human beings. But I do. And I'm so grateful for it. Every day I wake up every day. And it gives me a reason for being. When all my brain wants is for me not to have a reason. Especially recently. I've been having some very, 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 very dark times recently. And there have been certain things that keep me going. And the community on this channel is one of them. You know what I mean? It's so important to me. And I'm so grateful. And this is why I'm always so willing to help in any way, shape or form I can. Because it's just important for me to do that. So when I read things like this, it's just really important for me to try and help. So anyway, I'm going to have to stop there, everybody. So hope this has made sense. And like I said, don't quit music. People didn't bring you... music didn't bring you music. People did. Because you liked something that they don't like. Forget them. No, they're not important. So anyway, hope I've answered everyone's questions okay, everybody. If you want to submit a question to Q&A Wednesday, description box below has the email link. I'll see you on Friday for a video that should be very interesting. Because of this. Yes. That. Anyway. It's bright, man. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I'll see you again on Friday for that. And I'll have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. And goodbye now. Thank you for watching. It's all gone weird, man.